You're watching the estate planning series, Estate Planning for Singles, with Olivia Smith, co-founder of the SR Law Group.
This is estate planning for singles, and I'll kick it off. And there's a lot of similarities when you are doing your estate planning. There's a lot of similarities whether you're single or whether you're married, whether you have children or whether you don't have children. But then there are some unique differences that when you are single and you don't have a partner, you should really take note of and consider. So I made a little list. I'm gonna go through my list. If there are questions, please feel free to ask. I prefer questions, quite honestly. So when you're married, the default is your spouse, right? So who's gonna be your agent? Your spouse. Who's gonna be the executor? Your spouse. Who's gonna make these important decisions about you? Your spouse is. When you are single, you don't have that default. And when you are single and you don't have kids, you really don't have that default. Or if you're single and you have minor children, you don't have that. And so the thing that I think singles, and I'm one, and I had to do my estate planning, really have to think about is who is it that I trust? The first people that come to mind is obviously your parents. However, if life goes the way it should, your parents are going to predecease you. And so who is it that is not your parents that you really trust, that you would trust to make those really important decisions in your life, that you would trust with your healthcare decisions, that you would trust to manage your money, and that you would trust with your children? Because sometimes being single means my partner's passed away. Sometimes being single means the other parent is not interested and is not going to parent this child. And so I think it is really important to take stock of your community, your friends, your neighbors, your church members, whoever it is in your community, and figure out, okay, who are the people that I really trust? And then who are the people? So trust is always number one for me. And I say this to people that do have spouses. Trust to me is more important than skill, right? And so the first question is who I trust. The second question is, then are they capable? Because we can have really trustworthy people, but then we have to make sure that they are capable of the responsibility that we are going to give them. And so some of the things that you should consider, for instance, when you are looking at your healthcare agent, does this person, do I trust this person? Do I trust this person to honor my wishes, even if it goes against what they think should happen? Do I trust them to honor my wishes? Can they think in really high pressure situations? Will they keep a cool and calm head about them? And can they make a decision? So those are things that when you're thinking about, okay, who should be my healthcare agent? Do I have a friend that fits that description? Do I have another family member that fits that description? Who in my life would fit that description? When you're thinking about your power of attorney, who is someone that I would trust with my money, with my bank accounts, with all of my finances, right? So who would I trust with my finances? Who would I trust that would always consider what I would want done, right? Who has the skill? So when we're thinking about who has the skill, we would not want someone who's filed for bankruptcy 5 times, is always asking you for money, and is not good at managing their own money. We then would not want to put that person over our money. We may love them, they may be trustworthy, but that may just not be the right position in place for that person. So when we're thinking about the estate planning documents, that's the healthcare directive, that's the power of attorney as a single person, that's what we're thinking about. Then we think about, okay, the HIPAA. Who is it that I would want to have access to my healthcare? Who is it that I would want to be able to access from either a doctor or a medical facility? Who is it that I would trust that information with? And that can be a list of people. And then a trust or a will, okay? Who is it that I would want as a trustee or an executor? Who is it that I would want handling my last business if I were to pass away? Who is it that I would trust to like make sure everything gets tied up in a bow, that would limit and minimize chaos and confusion, that could be an effective communicator both with the court and other heirs, that would respect my wishes if I, had made them. So we're thinking about all of these things when we pick these people. And then also, if you have children, you're also thinking about a guardian. Who is it that I would appoint as a guardian to care for my children if I weren't here and I couldn't care for them? Who is going to raise them in a way that would honor the way that I would want them raised? Who's going to care for them in a way that I would care for them if I were still here? Who's going to instill those values in them that I would have instilled in them? These are the things that you want to consider when you don't have that default person that, that's sitting there that is going to automatically be assumed to be the person to handle all of these roles. And these are really tough decisions. These are not easy decisions.